Hello guys, I'm very pleased to see you all joining the stream. My name is Tommy, I'm one of the developers, and today, as promised, I will be showing you guys around the new bakery in the new DLC that we're preparing in Cakes and Cookies. So as I said, thank you for joining. I already saw that you guys have been asking a few questions about VR in the chat, so let me just get this straight. Yes, we are working on the VR version, but so far we have no details to share. The VR version is planned to be released in this year, and once we have some more info regarding that, we'll let you know, because we're also super excited about playing Cooking Simulator in VR. Alright, so this is our new place in which the action of this expansion is taking place. So this is a new confectionery, and it's brand new. It has nothing to do with the previous kitchens, and so far we'll be only able to bake stuff in this new scenery. So as the title says, Cakes and Cookies is all about preparing tasty desserts, and we have split this work area into a few zones. So this one is where you create the doughs and you bake them, and this one over here is where you do all the decorations and stuff. And this zone over here is where you sell your cakes. So what you might notice at the first glance is this weird thing in the bottom left corner. So what it is a smartphone, because we noticed that many of you guys have been having a hard time getting used to the laptop and so on. You never remember to check it frequently. There were some features hidden that many people were unaware of. So right now, instead of stopping your gameplay, we just added a new gadget that will be with you at all times. And smartphone is your kind of like command center, just like the laptop was in the base game. So you can access it at any time. It has a bunch of different apps. So those apps are used to do your chores as a baker. So first of all, we have Sweetgram. So this first app is allowing us to check what tarts are currently trending. And why is it important? Because this all new DLC has this idea that we don't want you guys to follow any recipes. We don't want you to be stressed. We don't want you to work on different orders and try to just match and work under pressure of time. But this time we just want you to have fun and be chill about that. So we've introduced the hashtag system. So how it works: every single day you have a different set of hashtags which are trending, and your job is to create and sell cakes, cookies, and other pastries that meet those criteria. So for example, we have for this presentation, we have something called event time, which is party. And in this section right over here, when I'm moving my cursor right now, will be displayed all the tags that are valid for this day, and making desserts with those tags will get you more likes, and eventually you will become more popular. So another tab in this app is popularity ranking. So your goal, just a general goal, is to become one of the most famous bakeries in the world. However, it's just something you have in the background, but like it's not similar to career mode when you've been constantly being pressured and you've been punished for not meeting the deadlines and criteria. There's nothing like that right now. This is just something you might want to follow if you're into that kind of thing. If you guys speak Polish, we have a few inside jokes in here in Polish as placeholders for names of the different competitors. So, and also you can snap photos, and what it's going to do is you have a camera, as every smartphone has, and you'll be able to take a picture of your cake. It will recognize all the hashtags it has, and you can post it online and also get some more popularity and tags and so on. Okay, I see that Grandpa, one of the guys in the chat, is Polish, so you could see what we've been hiding as those Easter eggs. And yes, I am Tommy. I am the guy in the Discord who's got this baby lion and the avatar. And if you have some, questions, I'm usually the one who's going to talk to you about them and try to help you. So will the phone be in the base game? We don't know yet. Just please let us finish the DLC first, and then we'll see what kind of features will move into the base game, if any at all. we haven't decided right now. We just want to make sure that we finish this DLC. But like the smartphone works very differently because it's using a different system, because in the base game you just have a recipe, you need to follow the instructions, send it to the customer, and you're done. While in this DLC you have no recipes that you need to follow because you just need to make sure that your creations meet the hashtags. So as I said, you'll have hashtags, and what we did is that we assign hashtags to every single ingredient that you can use in the game. Right now I have some mostly placeholders, but as you can see, I'm highlighting sugar. Okay, this one doesn't have, but we have cinnamon, right? So cinnamon's hashtag is obviously cinnamon because this is the strongest one, but it's also spicy, it's also dry. It can be also used for Christmas themed events. It's also aromatic, so those are kind of hashtags you can use. And there are two categories of hashtags, so there are some basic hashtags that are used every single time, and there are also binary hashtags. In this case, they're the same because, well, it's just a placeholder. But in general, there are tags that can be used just as they are, like, for example, cinnamon and so on. But at the same time, there are hashtags that can be used to create some bigger hashtags. For example, if the theme is Valentine's Day, then if you use something like red, it's going to be associated with things like love, so it's also going to work like that. Or if you prepare a cake which has no sweeteners, like no sugar, you can have a hashtag sugar-free and sell it. Okay, quick look at the comments. Can we make pancakes? Not currently, but you can make something kind of like pancake. If you make a very thin cake, it's going to look like a pancake. So yeah. Is it possible to put a custom name in the confectionery? Honestly, I don't know. I'll have to ask some of the guys. Right now, it's left as test. We'll either come up with a setup with preset name, or we'll have an option. I honestly don't know. It would be a question to one of the designers. And sorry, I'm not sure. Obviously. Okay, so it's ambitious mode without any recipe to follow, not even a base. So there are some base recipes you can follow, and I can show it to you guys in the next app, which is Baked Dates. And in here, it doesn't look, it's not the final look of the app, obviously, because it's still work in progress. But yes, in here you have recipes, and you can always carry them with you at all times. So as you can see, I don't need to look for any screens, any TVs, and so on. Because wherever I am, I can always just pick up my phone, just like in real life, and check what I have to do. So yeah, you have some recipes, of course, and you can follow those to create some kind of cakes and doughs. But you can also make your own. It's just completely up to you. If you mix enough of flour or eggs and all that kind of stuff, you will make eventually a dough, and it will have its own hashtags that can be used to follow this criteria. You guys are asking about pizza. Well, this DLC, this expansion is focused on on sweet stuff. So I know there are people who put pineapple on pizza. I'm one of those guys, but in general, pizza doesn't count as dessert, so we haven't included that. But it's a nice idea for the future. I don't know. Maybe we'll add it at some point. We haven't decided on that yet. Right now, we just want to give you guys a chance to prepare some sweet stuff. All right, we got other questions, and if you have any more, just drop them to me. I'll try to look on the chat and answer to you whenever I have the chance. All right, so I told you about this whole new environment, the new system, which is going to be completely stressless. It's going to bring tons of fun and creativity to the game. All right, I told you about the hashtags, and the last tab also is CookBay, which can be used to order some stuff. So many of you guys have been asking us about a system that you will have deliveries and that kind of stuff into the base game. We thought that we're going to leave it as it is, but as an experiment, we've added this up in Cakes and Cookies. So you can order some ingredients, and after a while, for example, let's order just one dough. This is a placeholder dough. Okay, so I can purchase that, and after a moment it will be available at the door over here. It's not available yet, and I can pick it up and yes, you can pick your order. It will come in a box, one of the boxes, just as you know them, like those guys, and you can just pick it up and and there it is, right? So I can just place it here and I can get my dough out of it. I can order more of those, then it will contain more inside. And also, there's a chance to pretty much do your own setup across the whole workspace. So as you can see in here, I have those dispensers, and they are used for the loose ingredients, such as flour and that kind of stuff. And I can set it up myself. For example, in here I can place cake flour, and in this one I can add granulated sugar, and I can add biscuit crumbs, or I could add whatever's available right now. What about localizations? This DLC will be available in all the languages that the base game is. So if you, for example, play, the base game in Russian, it will also be available in Russian, of course. I don't see any point why wouldn't we include those language versions. Okay, make a dough, then make a cake. Yeah, that's the point of the stream, so I'll get into that, I promise. Alright, so I can set it up those things by myself. I can also set up the fridge. If you can see a plate like this one, you can click on that, and you can choose what ingredient it's going to have on it. Like, for example, I can add, let's say, butter, and right now it's available. I can pick it up, then I can change it to something else, and that's how it's going to work. So you can set up the ingredients in the way you want them to be. You can also do the same for the decorations. You can also set those dispensers just as you want them. Jelly beans, for example, why not? Yeah, and you can have the order just as you want it to. The same goes for here. Have you guessed my language? I just assume that Egor play is pronounced Yegor, and that's that's pretty much Russian to me. So, привет. All right. What else? I told you about that, so I think it's now the time to make some baking and prepare our first dough. So I'm going to have a quick look at the recipe. The recipe, right? Okay. So let's, for example, have a try with this one. It's a very simple one, just a block of cream cheese, some cocoa, and powdered sugar. So this is the bowl will be used for kneading. So I'm going to pick up what I need. I'm going to need 2 blocks of cream cheese. All right. You can also see the hashtags as I mentioned before, right? So cheesy, cheese, creamy. Those hashtags will be used. Can you make bread? You can make pretty much whatever you want, and there are some forms that allow you to make it look like bread. So yeah, technically you could make bread. I mean, this wasn't our intention, but because of the hashtag system, you can actually make bread. Because if you just mix flour and you won't add any additional stuff like sweet, sugar, that kind of ingredients, then pretty much yes, because we also have a bunch of different forms, right? So we have forms that are very similar to bread. Which one would look breadish? This one? Yeah, pretty much, right? Okay. Let's have a look with this dough. Okay. After it's baked, it would look pretty much like bread. And if you only use things like flour, eggs, and milk, then pretty much you can make bread and yeast. So yeah, you can make bread. I don't know if it's going to be the most popular. If it's going to be the most popular, creation of all, but yes, you can technically make it if that's what you want. Of course, it will be baked. It will turn brown, and Does the game have vanilla extract? I don't know. We have a bit of liquid ingredients. I'm not sure about vanilla extract. It's possible we have it, but I don't know. We have those food dyes that can be used to add some color to your creations. They come in different colors. You can use them. I'll show it to you later. And I have to check. We have vanilla. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, the ball is blocking the view. Yes, it's work in progress, and I'll assume that we'll have it somewhere like at this height, maybe at the end. We just still need some of those adjustments. That's why we told you, guys, that we will take a few more weeks to do all the polishing, because we're Polish, and also because the DLC requires some polishing. Haha. All right, powdered sugar and cocoa. Okay, those are not available in those dispensers, but they can be found in here. So I'm just going to on the phone Insta app. It says more instead of more. Yeah, it does because it's pretty much everything right now is just like a placeholder and it's not meant to be treated seriously. This is not the final look of this app, so yeah, we have those bunch of like well, jokes you might call them, or Easter eggs, or inside jokes, or whatever. But in the final, we will make sure that everything's nice and works as intended. Okay, so I can set up those guys, and I will need. Oh, that was, I believe, cocoa and powdered sugar. All right, and the second thing was powdered sugar. Okay. Okay, Wonder is asking in Polish if I could place the gas bottle into the oven at the end of the stream. I wish I could, but I don't have I don't have access to it right now because this is a different game mode. Um, and I don't think it's going to fit in those tiny ovens anyway. But I'll try. I'll see what I can do about that. I don't know if even if the guys added the option to for it to blow up. All right, so I'm adding some cocoa. Can it go faster? If you ask me about the scrolling, yeah, it's just something that we'll need to adjust. I know it's not working as intended, but as I said, it's still work in progress. As you can see in those loose ingredients, you can see that I have it nicely moving around the ball. It's covering and uncovering the creamy butter. So yeah, I'm going to place it here. I'll need to choose the right tip for the kneading machine, and it's whisk, because different cakes will require different tips. So it's also something worth remembering. Now I can turn it on. It's going to turn it into a dough. All right, and this dough can be used for baking. So I have a few different forms. Okay, I didn't make enough of the dough, but this is like a star-shaped cake. I could bake it. We'll also be able to put it back into the form. Obviously, this is just temporary. What are the pots in the images? I don't know what images, but if I see any pots, well, I mean, we have some pots like from the base game because then can be used for like things like melting butter and stuff. All right. What are eggs for? Well, eggs are obviously one of the ingredients used for various doughs, right? So there are different doughs that require different ingredients, such as, for example, this one, just simple pastry flour. So I'm going to do it right now. Just set up a new one. Can we make cookies? Yes, of course we make cookies because this expansion is called Cakes and Cookies. So yeah, that would be kind of a scam if you couldn't make cookies, but of course you can. We also have a tiny forms for making. Sure. Guys, come on. Of course you can make cookies. I just need to find what was the thing. Thing was pastry flour. All right. I know the scrolling is taking a while. We'll adjust it. Of course, this is just work in progress build. So I just need to be patient and scroll until it's there. There it is. Okay. So I'm just going to add some of that. Okay. And also I'm going to pick up some eggs. Can you show us butter melting? Yeah, of course. Just give me a moment, I will show you. It's going to work. Maybe we'll need more eggs. Okay, so I'm just going to boil a few more eggs. I'm just going to use the box, so it's going to be faster like that. But of course, you'll be able to order them in the fridge or from the app or using the plates. Okay, so here's a quick shopping. I think that's going to be enough. Okay. Okay, maybe if we'll use the previous dough, maybe it's going to be mixed together. All right. I was just trying to come up with something, but as I said, it's still work in progress, so I might have wrote the proportions wrong and it wasn't detected. But anyway, you guys wanted to see the butter melting, and of course this is a thing. I'm just going to grab a pan. So here's butter. You can take a few pieces. I can just melt it like that, or I could even chop them. It's going also to look nice if I chop it. So I can turn it on. After it gets a little bit of heat, the butter will be changed into like melted butter, and I will be able to see it in a moment on the pan. And there's going to be a nice visual effect for that, a nice animation. All right, and it's like steadily changing into liquid on the pan. Is butter already in the main game? No, butter in this form was added in this expansion. In the main game, you only have liquid butter in the bottles. So, and you guys have been asking if we're going to add it to the base game, and my answer for that is I don't know, because we just want to focus on finishing cakes and cookies first, and then we'll see what's going to happen next to the game. So as you can see, it's all melting. And it also can be used as one of the ingredients for the cakes in the end for the doughs. It also has its own hashtags like butter, buttery, creamy, comfort food, that kind of stuff. And also, guys told me that they've been also trying to include for this build for us today option to melt chocolate. I haven't tested it yet before the stream and I have the chance, but well, let's see if that's going to work as well. So I'm going to give it a shot. Is the clock on the phone changing the DLC? I'm not sure what you mean. If you mean if it's going to display an actual hour, then yes, by all means, of course, it's going to tell you what time of the day it is. As you can see, chocolate is also melting. It's not in its final form, just like unlike butter, but in the end, you'll also be able to see the nice visuals for that. So yeah, of course. All right. Okay, I'll be not making any more doughs. As you can see, the system is going to let you. For example, you can look at this cake. This is the one I followed one of the recipes included for today's presentation, and I can see the ingredients it has and also its taste and texture. And I can see like all the hashtags it has. So like the main is cheesy because we use 2 blocks of cream cheese. That's also sweet, smooth. It has some cocoa because of the ingredients, sugar, creamy, aromatic, and that kind of stuff, right? So then if I had this cake, and then I can look on the tag that will be displayed in here, right? And here I might have various themes, like for example, sweet or love or smooth or whatever, and I can then compare if my cake is meeting those tags, those criteria, and then when I'll be sending it out on here for the customers to buy, then I'll be able to gain more likes and then become more popular as a restaurant. Also, you can see this. Okay, I can show it to you, but this 14 number next to the product name, This is the number of portions the cake has. We added this system so the players will not have a chance to abuse it, because if you made a tiny cupcake which takes just a moment and it has all the hashtags, then it would make it so easy for you to become super popular. So in what we also wanted to include is that the size matters in this case. So if you make a bigger cake with more layers, it has more portions, and then those hashtags they have more punch into it, right? So yeah, will you add skins for pans and pots, like you can customize? If you're going to add skins, I know we are also called CS, like some other popular game which has tons of skins, but we haven't thought about it right now. What we do is we add in the base game some decorations for the kitchen. We don't know if that's going also to be the case in this expansion, and we haven't thought about any of those. It is possible, of course, but as of right now, there we haven't been even making such plans. So thank you for the suggestions. Is this a separate kitchen from the original, or will they be connected? No, this is a brand new environment. It's completely separate from the base game, and well, that's it. It's completely separate. That's what I wanted to say. So you will not be able to do the cooking in this kitchen, and also you won't be able to the deep fryer. Yeah, the donut fryer. This is the bad guy we're talking about. I can turn it on. It works pretty similar to the French fries machine. I don't know if it's going to be functional right now, because we've been working on crazy to prepare this build for you, and I don't know if the guys added it. But as you can see, it works like this: that you will make your donuts, and when they are raw, you can insert them into those containers, and then you can dip them in the oil and they will fry. It's very similar to like making French fries in the base game, but it has those. It allows you for doing more things at the same time. Can we crack eggs above the pot? Yes. It requires some getting used to, but you can. Unfortunately, whenever I try to do it, I get the shells inside. So yeah, this is one inside, but you can try to do it, and you can either pick it out afterwards, or you can just hopefully they will fall outside. Okay, so also in here we have those different types of cake pans, and there's tons. So some of you guys have been asking me about cakes. So well, yeah, of course there's a cake. There's all cakes and cookies, right? So we can also make cookies, obviously, because that's the name of the deals of the expansion. All right. So I can also make cookies. I can just slide them in one of the ovens. I can set the temperature. You will also have some abilities to customize your outcome by adjusting the time and temperature. Some recipes that are pre-made require that. All right, so this is baking right now, and I'm just going to buy one more of this placeholder dough so I can show you some more of the good stuff. Okay, this is one of the placeholders, but if I use the dough I made in the beginning following the recipe, then if I will be holding that, I can just make it one more time for you guys. I think it's not going to be that much. Yeah, just make it quickly. Goodbye. Yeah, I really wish we implemented temperature settings in the base game. Yeah, one of the reasons why we decided that we need a little bit of extra time to develop this expansion is because it, as a project, has grown so much that it's almost like a tiny separate game because of all the new mechanics we have included in here. As you can see, it completely changes the flow of the game. You no longer follow any recipes. you just pretty much improvise, and it's all up to you to come up with creations that meet the criteria. Okay, let me see if that's going to work. Oh, as you can see right now, I'm holding a cake from the recipe, and when I'm aiming it at the cake pan, it's showing me two things: 4 minutes and 140 degrees Celsius. So this tells me how should I preset the oven to follow the recipe in order to prepare this cake as intended. Okay, and now we can also bake this stuff. For some reason it didn't change the color, but obviously it's going to it's going to be changing the colors after you bake it. So for now I'm just going to use those placeholder cakes to show you the decoration part, because it's so much fun. If you ask me, I just love this part. So I'm going to pick those guys with me, and I'm going also to, does it have yeast? Yes, it does. It's in the fridge. Well, yeah. It also has its own hashtags as everything. They're not final, but nutty dry, perhaps something else. So yeah, it does. Okay, so I'm just going to grab, or maybe I just use this box. So we have tons of different shapes of cake pans. We have heart shape, and we have cupcake, heart shaped as well. We have hexagonal. Yeah, there's just a bunch of different stuff. Mini donuts. Yeah, so tons of stuff. Just even a square. There's also a small square. Okay, never mind. So I'm going to go for the hearts. I think this is one of the funniest shapes. Okay, see you. And right now I'm going to use the dough, the pre-made one, to show you the decoration system. You said it's going to be a huge DLC. Does it mean there will be a leaderboard for certain recipes? Well, we haven't decided on this yet. It wasn't the plan at first, but it's a very good idea, and I think we could include it in some way. But as I said, this expansion doesn't have recipes just like the base game. It only has some sort of like hints on how to make certain doughs. Like for example, we have a few pre-made ones. This one I followed, but in general, you don't get a score for your recipe in the end, because what matters is just the amount of hashtags and the size of the cake you serve and sell to your customers, just how well you make it to fit the trends, and then serve it in here. So it would be really hard to actually give a rating and score in this mode for what you've done. Highlight the dough in the pan and press P. Tommy, please. Okay. Oh yeah. So you can also take a picture, and it's going to recognize all the hashtags that your cake has. And you can also share this photo online for some extra popularity and. Okay, so as you can also see, we have a brand new UI for pretty much everything. There's a different font, different shape of those windows, but also you can see this thing in the top, at the top of my screen, this purple bar. So when you make the cake and when you decorate it, you need to follow a certain rhythm to it. So first of all, we have this syringe that you can use to add some filling. It says coop down in the corner. Yeah, it might do, because as I said, this is just like a work in progress build, so it might have some polish things, but at the end it will be available on the languages without any mistakes, I hope. So yeah, as I was saying, when you decorate the cake, you have to follow certain flow of how you do the things. So first, you can use the syringe to add some filling, and don't know if we have syringe in this build, but in general, you pick up a confectionery syringe, you choose the filling, and you pierce the cake, and you just squeeze it in, and then you also add some extra flavors and extra hashtags to this cake. Yes, I'm going to show you right now all the purple bar is blocked by developer stream. Oh yeah, that's a very good tip. Thank you. I'm going to adjust it quickly. Sorry about that. If I can find it somewhere in the... Which one is that? It's not the one. Okay, almost there. Okay, sorry. I hope that now you can see the bar. Thank you for the tip. Uh, okay, so now if you can see the bar, as I was saying, you need to follow a certain flow when you decorate the cake. So the first one is syringe, then you have icing, then you have stacking the layers, then you can add some toppings, then you can also cream it, then you can put some decorations, and the final step is to still no recipe creation. Cross. This is I don't want to say bullshit, but this is not entirely true because this whole game is about making whatever you want. So each cake you make is your very own recipe. You can even save your steps, and then someone can enter the game and do whatever you want in here, right? You just have certain hashtags, and then you come up with what's going to work. If your hashtags are chocolate, brown, on I don't know, whatever, then you make up your own cake. You look for the ingredients that have the certain hashtags, and you decide on how you want to combine them and what's going to be the final process of creating your cake. So pretty much every single of your creations is your own recipe, but we just got rid of the pre-made recipes that require you to follow instructions step by step. But well, it is recipe creation in its like purest form, because you can do whatever you want, right? There's only your imagination that's stopping you pretty much in the cookies. Okay, let me check if I have access to this syringe. I have a bunch of stuff that hasn't been named yet. Okay, so those are the tips for various themes. Okay. Okay, this is scoop. It will be used in a moment. What's that? Okay, this is some mysterious device that is not that doesn't have a functionality yet, but it's used to make donuts. That's all I know for now. Okay, and the last one. Okay, this is the thing we use for creaming stuff. All right. And we also have confectionary spatula, I believe, right, which is something very useful. Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying, there are different. There's a flow to making those cakes. So first you choose the filling. I cannot show it to you today. I hopefully will be able to do in the next stream. All right. So the second thing is adding how's it called, icing and frosting, right? And what I can do, I can also customize it myself. So I can choose what kind of frosting or icing I want to have in here. But what's also very cool is I can make my own frostings and my own icings, and this is really, really awesome. So I can use those food dyes that I've mentioned before, and I can now add it in here. Hopefully it's going to work. Please work. Okay, maybe if I'll buy a fresh one, hopefully I'll be able to show it to you guys, because it's really, really cool, and it would be a shame if I were unable to show it to you. Oh, as I said, we also have the fillings, and this is a placeholder, but will be have fillings and syringe, so I will able to stuff your cakes. So let me find quickly and go for green, for example. Is that going to work? Okay, maybe I'll need to do universal frosting. All right, I'll show it to you guys next week, I promise. But the general idea is that you can pour the food dye into those custom frostings and icings, and you can mix them to create your own colors for them. So you'll not only have to use brown and the pre-made, but you will also able to mix the colors and create something that pretty much you want, right? Okay, so I'm just going to use the pre-made for now. So let me just grab this spatula. Okay, so we have frostings, right? So this is the frosting. And place it on the top, so it makes this nice layer. You can also place it on the side, and you can also scrap it off if you want to change something. And also we have icings, and icings look a little different. So they are not so thick; they are way thinner, and this made these nice patterns on the side. How much will the DLC cost in the PL? And we haven't decided on the price right now. Whenever we have some details, we'll let you know for that, for sure. Okay, so as you can see, I added some frosting in here. So this was the second step, and this bar at the top is also displaying what has been done and what has been not done. So in this case, I didn't use the syringe because I don't have it right now. So I only use the spatula to add some icing. So the next step would be to add layers on the cake. So I can just pick up a new one and place it on top, right? And now I can also choose a different one. What's wrong with it? Also detach them if I want to change something, for example, just like that. So let's see what's wrong with you. Okay. And I can make another layer. Choose why not. Every move is auto move, you can spread it manually. There's going to be an animation for that, but this is something you'll have to do automatically. But I'll show you in a moment just something that can be done by your own. So the next step, according to the instruction, is adding toppings. So as I showed you, we have in here, and they basically come into there are two kinds. There are dustings, which are tiny and small, and there are regular toppings. So I can choose one I like. For example, let's go for. I hope the blueberry is for you guys. Okay, that's unexpected. Sorry about that. As I said, it's still work in progress. So let me try another one. It's going to work. Maybe we'll add some frosting, as I said. Okay, and let's check now if it's going to work with blueberries. Oh yeah, now it works fine. I can also change the area, so I can do it one by one, tiny, or I can be generous about that and add more. I can also do it one more time. And you can also right now see that I'm having a different hashtags. Right now, for example, I got hashtag fruity because of the blueberries, and so yeah, the decorations obviously include the hashtags, so the final popularity of your creation. So it's important to experiment and to look for various different different opportunities. Okay, so let's look at this one. Looks very tasty to me, all right? And I can also right now use this tool. And one of you guys asked me, Lord Butter actually asked me if I have to do everything automatically. So this is one of the features we added that allows you to do something manually. So right now I'm creaming and I'm using this tool for that, and I'm doing that by moving my hand. So obviously it leaves a lot of opportunities for you guys to create something you want. I know that there's going to be tons of funny stuff and tons of nasty stuff because of this function, but we wanted to add it, so we did it. So let's try with something positive. Okay, so this is a smiley cake for you guys. All right. Hello. And also, one of the last steps is choosing the right decorations at the top. So the general idea is that they will be available in those drawers. It's not ready for this week. Hopefully, next time I'll be showing to you guys these drawers will be filled with figurines. But we've chosen the type of the dough we made. We've chosen the filling, if any. We've decided on the how many layers it's going to have. What else? We've chosen the toppings, the fillings, frostings. We made some custom creamy shape decoration at the top. So now let's look for what kind of decorations we can also include. Okay, this is the end of the day screen, and this is a lovely, lovely donut. This is work in progress. Okay, so you, as I said, you will be working in the every single day. There's a new challenge. There are new different tags. So if I were playing right now, then I wouldn't make any popularity, gain any new lights because I didn't sell actually in the case because I was too busy showing to you guys. But in the final build, you have a phone, so you'll be able to check how much time left and that kind of stuff. Here's a tiny summary of that. And this is the next day, okay? So every day is a new challenge. How is going to be? We're going to have a different daily tags today. Right now it's still party, but you know, it is going to be a next one, something else. So no new challenges. And as I was saying, we decided on everything so far, on the shape and blah 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 and so on. So now I have to give this a final touch. So we have tons of. Let me just bring this more over here. Okay, so I can use some digits, of course. Very simple. Okay. Two, 8, right? And 28 because that's when this creating cookie is coming. But I can also use different ones, and of course, the next stream we plan to do it next week, Thursday or Friday, I believe, because this will give us enough time to add some of the new features for you. And our intention is to actually show you guys how it's being developed and what's new, how it's working. So the goal is for us to stream once a week until the release. Okay, so we'll let you know, but as I said, Thursday or Friday I believe is going to be the best time. Okay, I can also use a different one. For example, I can go for candles. This is just some leftover stuff from the main game, but the candles, they are like being used for Halloween, and maybe we'll also use them, you know, in here. I also have like things like flowers, and obviously they also have their own hashtags, so that also includes my final. This is not the prettiest cake, okay, and I can serve it in here. So once it's placed in this section over here, then it's ready for being sold. So I placed my all creations at the end of the day here. I can snap a picture, of course, post it online, you know, and then I place everything and I wait for the end of the day, and those trades are being sold. And depending on how well I fit the hashtags, this is how popular I'm going to get. I'll be able to track my progress in popularity ranking. And yeah, for example, right now we're on the second place. Tommy's Donut Shop is number 4. Istrova original is number 5. Istrova is the name because one of our friends has a dog and she brings it to work sometimes, and her name is Iskra, which means like a sparkle. So we've named one of the places to honor our lovely dog. All right. The engine is Unity for yeah, it's Unity. All right. That's all I had to say in this regard. Also, guys asked about cookies. So cookies can also be customized because why not? And also no, I can choose pretty much they work the same, just like regular. They're just tiny, but they work like regular cakes. Okay, so I can do something like that. I could even which one looks cool? So that one looks cool. Okay, let's go for another one like this. I can even try to stuff something into them. I could maybe add a different kind of topping for those cookies. Um, what's this? Raisins. Okay, you guys like raisins. Can you add chocolate chips to the cookies? Yeah, I'm like 99% sure that one of those dispensers is going to have chocolate chip. I don't know if it has it right now. I think it doesn't, but of course there's going to be some chocolate chip in those. Like 99% sure that we're going to have chocolate chip. So if you make some cookies, you could add chocolate chip because this is something so basic that I can add a few tiny raisins. Looks really cool. And also, as I said, like the dough will have its own color because in the final version we'll be able to bake it, and after baking it's going to change its colors. And so yeah, we can also make another cake. Maybe we can try with the square one. Let's see how it works. I'm going to use this one and maybe the bigger one. Can you raise the dough? You can decide on how high you want your dough to be because it depends on how much of dough you put inside. It's not going to be bigger than what you put in here, but if you want to make something really, really, really tiny, you can do it even like that. One of you guys at the beginning asked me if you can make pancakes. Well, you can make something like that, which looks kind of like pancake, right? So, in a sense, you could make something very, very similar to a pancake, like okay, like this. Maybe add some butter, because why not? Or rainbow cake. Yeah, because of course you can make the cake blue. As I said, you have those other food dyes, right? Paint. Uh, so they come in different colors. I couldn't show it to you today, but you can place them in here in those dispensers, and then they will change the colors. So you can make them blue, you can make them orange or whatever, and you can even mix the colors together to have some extra other colors. So yeah, you could make a rainbow cake if that's something you want. Yeah, definitely you could. It's even on one of the screenshots as an example. Can you fry the dough in the frying pan? You can fry some stuff in here, like donuts, and I haven't tried frying it in the pan, and I'll be able to tell you that next week because I haven't tried it and I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if we've added such opportunity. And okay, we can also, as I said, decorate this layer. Hopefully, please, please, okay, okay. And now I can also, as I said, add some creaming to it. And I believe right now it's not locked, so we can change the. It's going to be difficult like that, so I'm just going to remove it for a second, so I can make it like nice on the edges. Yeah, it's like my first time doing that, one of my first times. So might not be the best chef in the world, but I'm doing my best for you guys. Okay. Okay, now I can't do it because I messed the. So actually, it's working as intended. I cannot do it because I removed the cake, and as I said, creaming is the next step. So let me see if I can. No, I can't. All right, but it doesn't matter because we can do it just quickly. Like that, maybe not like that. Maybe I'll need some extra dough for that. But I mean, as I said, I could just place it in here. Maybe I'll just try it. Can you raise the icing? Mm, I don't know what you mean by that. If you can stack it, no, you can stack icings, but when you have what are those guys called? Topping and dusting dispenser. Wait, okay, no, this is not. Okay, we have frosting and icing. So frosting is much more thicker, and icing is very thin. So that might be used to. Can you add cream on cake with another color? Yeah, sure. I don't have the option right now, but I think that the guys are working on also the way to change the colors of this cream. If I use advanced control, it's not going to stick together, and the game won't see it as one cake. It will see it as two separate ones. So I'm just going to quickly give it another shot. Just, I need to find this box, and I should be more organized in my own kitchen. But anyway, okay, there it is. Now you can't make tall shapes. You can only make them like flat, basically. Uh, that would be such a potential mess up if we've allowed to also do them like vertically. That now we can only do them like flat. Okay, so I was trying to show off my skills and it didn't work out. So I'm just going to try one more time. What's wrong with you? Maybe I should try a different one. Sorry for like occasional things that do not work, but as I said, this is just work in progress, and it still requires some polishing. So mm, every once in a while I might encounter some issues. So what was the syringe called? One of those? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry, but like this feature, I suppose doesn't currently work as intended. But as I said, you can make different layers for the cakes. You can now choose a different sort of topping. For example, we could just trash the raisins. We could go for jelly beans. I think they look kind of weird, but let's see how it's going to look like. Yeah. Okay, that is not how it's supposed to work. So maybe I'll try to do it. I have so much mess right now. It's unbelievable. Okay, maybe I'm just going to try to do it one more time. Where did I leave my scoop? Maybe I'm just going to buy a new one. Scoop is 2003. Yeah. Okay. What is with feelings? Feelings will be available in the end, but currently I can show it to you because it hasn't been implemented for today's stream. But in the end, you will be able to choose filling, and there's going to be a syringe that you can stick in the cake and just fill it with whatever you pretty much want from the menu. Okay, so I've added like different types of decorations, and I can also right now, well, choose different kind of figurine on top, but if I don't want to do it, then I don't have to, obviously. And as I said, it's going to have a tons of different decorations. For example, just a final showcase. I'm just going to create something new quickly. Which one of you guys looks nice? Okay. Strawberry. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Pink stuff, I like it. The chilies are not rainbow. Yeah, I know, but the goal is to make them rainbow at the end. Currently they're only green, but they will look more like this, I believe, in the end. Okay, so we show you like different decorations as well. Maybe let's move in here so we have a little more space. So I was saying to have different kinds of figurines on top, and so we also have the hashtags. You have force looks kind of cool. There's something wrong with it right now, but we'll just be able to stick it in here. Maybe this is the issue with the cake itself. Yeah, sorry about that. I believe I'll have to show it on a different cake. Maybe the heart. I think heart is one of the best ones to demonstrate stuff. Yeah, so we have the girl, for example. We have forks. We have also different other figurines that we can use. What else do we have? A flower. For example, right now there are two colors, red and blue. Um, yeah, so there's going like to be a gingerbread guy. There's going to be a ton of different decorations that you can choose pretty much however you like, and it also can be served at the end, has its own hashtags. The same goes for cookies. As I said previously, you can take your cookies. You can also serve those. It's fine. I love the how they all move from the cake pan onto the display. It looks awesome. I'm just really happy about how it looks. All right, so I think I've showed you pretty much whatever I could today. Thank you for joining us. There will be a next stream, new week. I believe it's going to be on Thursday or Friday when we have a little more progress to show you guys with the features. And I hope you guys had fun today. I also would like to invite you to our Discord server, and there's tons of nice people in there. You can also hype yourself up for the expansion. And well, that's pretty much it. I also encourage you to take part in the wishlist challenge. This is something we've come up to make the waiting period a bit sweeter for you and nicer. How it works is that basically we give you rewards for a certain number of people who wishlist the upcoming Cakes and Cookies expansion. So far, we've added things like wallpapers. We're going to add a new decoration to the kitchen. There's been some extra cool mechanics. And also right now we also got the chaos tool, which is going to be unlocked very soon. It will allow you to destroy kitchen however you like. And there's a full list of rewards available in the community or in the Discord server. So once again, I invite you. And I hopefully will see you next week when I'll also be able to destroy the kitchen a little bit more, show you some extra functions. And as I said, thank you guys for today, and well, see you soon.